Welcome to the deep dive. You know that dream of being a solopreneur, the freedom, the flexibility, being your own boss?
Hmm.
It's really powerful, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It draws so many people in.
But then the reality hits. Suddenly you're juggling clients, operations, marketing, trying to grow.
Hmm.
And honestly, just trying to keep your head above water, it feels like you're doing absolutely everything alone.
And that feeling, that's exactly what our sources pinpoint. It's fascinating, really. So many solo founders hit this wall, they burn out. But it's often not from lack of trying.
Right. Not about effort.
No, exactly. It's from working without structure. Burnout, fundamentally, it's a strategy problem. It's a systems problem. It's not just about needing to, work harder or manage time better in the old way.
That changes the game, doesn't it? Makes it feel less like a personal failure and more like, okay, there's something tactical we can actually do about it.
Precisely.
So that's our mission here today. We've dug into the research, the expert advice, and we're pulling out 5 clear, really actionable strategies to help you build that solo business without the burnout, the chaos, the overwhelm. Tools to get back to that original dream.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with maybe the most fundamental thing.
Yeah.
Your own energy. This first insight is intriguing. Structure your week around your energy, not your to-do list. How does that work when, client demands feel like they're screaming for attention?
Yeah, that's the constant tension, right? The
Yeah.
urgent versus the important. But here's the thing. When it's just you working smarter, optimizing how you use your energy, it's not a luxury, it's critical.
Okay.
Our sources consistently show that solopreneurs who do this, who map their high energy times to their toughest tasks, they see real results. Less decision fatigue, maybe even a 20% boost in deep work.
Wow. So practically, what does that look like?
It's about designing your week with intention. Creating, say, focus blocks. Maybe client work, the really demanding stuff, happens in your peak morning hours.
Yeah.
Admin, maybe midday when energy dips naturally. And creative work, perhaps late afternoon. The absolute key is protecting those high energy hours for what matters most. Don't let the small stuff bleed into them.
Protecting those hours. I like that. Okay, that energy piece is huge. Now, something I found really interesting, especially for scaling and getting off that hamster wheel, is insight number 2. Stop selling time-billed offers with boundaries. This feels like it pushes back hard against the always available vibe.
It absolutely does, and the sources are really clear on this. Just selling hours with no real cap. That's a fast track to burnout. Your income is forever linked to the clock.
So how do you break free from that?
You have to essentially productize your offer.
Yeah.
Define exactly what's included, and maybe even more importantly, what's not included. Set those boundaries clearly up front.
Right. Manage expectations.
Exactly. One person in the research, they shifted to this model, clearly defined packages, and boosted their income by 30% while actually reducing work hours because the focus shifted to charging for results, for the value, not just the time spent. That creates breathing room.
Yeah.
It makes your income scalable.
Results, not hours.
Yeah.
It's a powerful shift. Okay, so we've got energy management, structured offers. But things can still get chaotic if you're just winging the process every time, right? Which brings us to number 3.
Yeah.
Use simple systems, even if you're solo.
Yes. And please don't let the word system scare you off. These aren't, complex corporate processes we're talking about.
Okay.
Think of them as survival tools for solopreneurs. Seriously. I saw one example where someone's CRM was just a really well-organized Google sheet they called their golden goose list.
Huh? Love that. Keep it simple.
Totally. Start simple. A template for your weekly review. A checklist for onboarding new clients so you don't miss steps. That spreadsheet for leads. Even just having set days or times for client calls instead of scheduling ad hoc all week long. These small things free up so much mental energy.
That mental space is gold, okay, which leads nicely into the next point, tackling that feeling of, I have to do it all myself.
Yeah.
Insight 4. You don't need to do it all. But, outsourcing feels expensive when you're solo. How did the sources suggest making this practical?
It's a common hurdle, that feeling. But the truth is, trying to do every single thing yourself, that just keeps you stuck being the bottleneck in your own business. But you don't need to hire full-time staff right away. Think smaller. Think leverage. Use platforms like Fiverr or Upwork for specific tasks, a logo, a landing page. Use Zapier to automate repetitive things between apps you already use. Calendly for booking calls saves tons of back-and-forth emails. Even AI tools like ChatGPT can help draft outlines or social media ideas. These tools are accessible now. They let you delegate pieces without breaking the bank.
Leveraging tools and micro-outsourcing. Makes sense. Okay, finally, number 5. This one was called a biggest game changer in the material. Create a weekly execution rhythm. Sounds simple, but what does that actually look like day to day?
It is simple, deceptively so, but really powerful for maintaining focus and momentum. It's basically a three-part structure for your week.
Okay.
Monday, plan your week. What are the absolute top 1-3 priorities you need to accomplish? Get clear on those. Wednesday, midweek check-in. How are those priorities progressing? Anything stuck? Any adjustments
That's
needed?
too quick pulse check.
Exactly. And then Friday, review the week. What did you achieve? Celebrate wins, update progress, maybe tidy up loose ends, and briefly prep for the next week. It creates this really nice, predictable flow.
And I think the sources also mentioned adding a simple tracker.
Yes. Adding just one key scoreboard or KPI tracker to this rhythm, tracking one important metric, consistently really sharpens focus.
Yeah.
It makes your progress visible. It's about being deliberate with your time and attention.
It brings it all together, the energy, the offers, the systems, the delegation, into a consistent rhythm. Okay, so let's just wrap this up. The core message here seems to be, you started this solo journey for freedom, for flexibility, for fulfillment, not to get buried under emails and just hustle 24/7.
Absolutely. And with the right plan, the right tools, and this kind of rhythm, you really can scale your business without sacrificing your energy or sanity.
Right.
And, without a traditional team structure, getting some outside perspective can be incredibly valuable. Structured guidance, accountability, strategic planning, like through coaching, can really amplify progress for solopreneurs who don't have that built-in board of directors keeping them on track.
That's a great point. It reinforces the need for these structures, whether self-imposed or externally supported. So the big question for you listening is, what does this all mean for your business? Which one of these simple but honestly powerful shifts are you going to implement first? Which one will help you reclaim your energy, sharpen your focus, and really start building the solo business you actually dreamed of?